We are back. It's the Dynasty Football Podcast. I'm your host, John Morrow, manager of the Onions. People have been asking for this. We had a bit of a hiatus, but we're coming into week 9 or 10 right now, and we're back with the pod. So I'm your host, and my co-host here. There's been a lot of speculation. He's been MIA for the better part of a month. There's been a lot of theories as to where he could be. Did he delete WhatsApp? Is he mad at certain people in the league? Is he mad at his own team for, some would say, underperforming this year? But he's here now. He's on the pod, Dan Bolton. And Dan, we're going to start off. I'm going to give you the mic. We got to hear what's going on with you, man. Where you been? How you doing?
Good morning. For the last 2 years, I have been going through a hell of a nightmare on Kane's time and WhatsApp, every Kane site it seems, regarding my supposed death. Well, I want to address some matters right now. There's some issues I want to address. Number one, as you can plainly see, I am very much alive and well. There are people that have said that I was attacked by a bear. I want to address that right now. At no point was I ever attacked by a bear, let alone encounter one. But people like Hulkacaniac and Sebastian 91 and Paulie and Ian, they, attacking left and right. If I ever saw a bear, I'd probably act like Carl Lewis and hightail it out of there. But that's neither here nor there. Getting into the podcast.
All
Yeah,
right.
John, happy to be here. Let's go.
Where have you been, man? I mean, the people do want to know. I mean, we all love the Danny Boy Kane impersonation, if you didn't get that one. But there's been, I was wondering if that was your background. It did look like that. That's awesome. You can move to the side and it could be you and him for the rest of the pod. But, but dude, I mean, people are wondering where you've been. Like, so, I mean, the team's been underperforming. So I got to ask first, like, how do you feel about your specific team? What's been going on this year? You were very confident going into the year, and you've put up a few stinkers, and we haven't heard anything. So, like, what's going through your mind?
A lot of confidence still. Although, if you look at the schedule and you look at, what's coming ahead, I am in somewhat of dire straits where it's start to win now, or we gotta look ahead. I'm not going to get into like sell mode at any point. I have a roster built for win now, so it's just a matter of we gotta get in the locker room. We gotta get the chemistry going. We gotta right the ship and turn shit around. Huge matchup this week with Ian. It's feels like it's
It's the
a
matchup of the year. You versus Ian is everyone's excited about it. We've been looking forward to it, but I gotta say though, man, you've been off WhatsApp and you've been like, it's been fun, like talking with everybody, and we're just trying to figure out where you've been. I'm curious, and I'm just asking this: does any of it have to do with about? I don't know how long ago it was. You got into a little tiff with Sam at about 1 a.m. Did that have anything to do with you getting off the app? Because I mean, we all woke up that morning and loved reading it, but I just want you to know, like, we all love you in the app and we want you there.
Yeah, no, I had to reassess a lot of things after that. I took a deep look inward. Really, I value my relationship I've built with Sam going way back to the junior biddy and biddy basketball days. And really, the friendships that we've made along the way. It's more about the journey than the destination, some may say. So, I that's yeah, I kind of, had to sort of retire from the app for a little bit.
Do you
But this
still
is my
have the
big
app?
comeback right here.
Do you still have the app on your phone?
Rumor has it that the app has been deleted, but those rumors, to the haters' dismay, are false.
Okay. Okay. Well, can we count on seeing you in the app anytime soon? Or are you waiting for a win versus Ian? Like, what's next for you?
I had the Undertaker gif ready to go if I had made the comeback against you on Monday Night Football. But yeah, no, this is the comeback announcement right here. So I'll be back live in
Okay.
the app as soon as this drops.
Well, we all love to hear that. And there's one viewer question we have for you before we move on to our next segment. Um, it comes from Bill in Nashville. We all want to know the price on Malik Neighbors. Is it 6 firsts? Is it 3 firsts and a top 10 player? What's the price on Malik Neighbors?
It's multiple firsts, especially if Travis Etienne and Quentin Johnson are getting first round picks these days. We're gonna need multiple firsts for Neighbors, probably your full F FAAB budget, and buy all the drinks at the draft party next year.
All right. Well,
That's
okay.
the starting price.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I mean, it's good to see you, man. A lot of people were worried sick. So just seeing, I think everyone's gonna breathe a sigh of relief just seeing your smiling face right now. So
I did
that's
have
awesome to
people
hear.
hit me up on the side, so shout out to those that hit me up to make sure everything was good. On
Wow.
the real, I just got a new phone and didn't re-download the app, so
Okay.
might be.
Cool. All right, no problem at all. Everyone was worried, so I'm glad to hear that you were feeling some love there, and it's good to have you back on the pod because we've gone a while without it. So really happy to hear all that. Let's move on to our next segment here, and it's going to be just a quick recap through the league. So we're going to go through each manager, and we're going to say kind of just gut check how we feel about everybody in this league because there's been a lot of fireworks. You haven't seen a lot of it in WhatsApp, but there's been a lot of discussions. There's been a lot of trade talks. There's been some people throwing shade here and there. So let's go down the line. We didn't even talk about how we're going to do this. I'll name a person. You just give me your brief thoughts on them, and then I'll fire my thoughts. Let's start at the bottom of the standings, and we'll start with bye week Mike Snee. Just what do you feel about Mike Snee?
A big Snee fan over here. Love the long-term approach he's taking. I love that I got CeeDee Lamb off him, and I think that he can be a big contributor for me going through to the end of the year here. But yeah, good on Snee for holding strong with the bye week approach, with the 2027, 2028 and beyond approach. And congrats on getting his first win this week. Tough look for Paulie.
Really, really tough look for Paulie. We'll get to that. My thoughts on Snee. I have a lot of mean things to say about a lot of people in this league. Snee is not one of them. Always respectful. We generally can get one or two trades done a year. And I agree with what you said about his approach. I mean, just a god awful team, but that Manon guy is decent, and we'll see what happens going forward. All right, moving up the ladder, not very far up the ladder to Mo. Thoughts on Mo?
Uh, Kid can't buy a bucket these days. Like, one thing goes wrong, it keeps going wrong. We thought he had a starting running back in Chuba Hubbard. Turns out he's nothing but a backup. Can't get anything on the trade market for him. Yeah, it just when it rains, it pours, I guess. So,
Yep.
tough luck for Mo. I feel like he's a good, like, knowledgeable sports savant overall.
Is
And
he?
obviously he bets big units, baby. So
Yeah, I gotta say, my most like hated alliance in the league has been the Pauly Mo connection. Hearing them talk about like South Alabama football on a Saturday night is just the last thing I want to do. So we got to let them know they could move that betting chat to a separate chat because I don't want to hear about it. And yeah, Mo bet's huge. I root for him. I like Mo a lot, like in person. As a fantasy player, he gets on my nerves a lot. He's very cocky. In baseball, he knocked me out, and I'm still feeling that one. I love seeing him struggle in this league, but we did just get a trade done today. Quentin, you alluded to it, Quentin Johnson for a first rounder. I think it sets me up perfectly. It makes sense for Mo to do it. So yeah, overall, I'm lukewarm on Mo. Nothing bad to say about him. Speaking of lukewarm, Bobby, I just don't know him. I got nothing to say.
yeah, no, there's two.
Yep.
There's Bob and there's E. I don't know who.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know who they are, which is which, Fuddrucker, whatever. But good, they made a good trade with me at one point, and they got all three of
Did
these
they?
guys that I sent them. They got Shakur, Bateman, and Spears all in their starting lineup right now, which is guys that probably would have been cut from my team at this point. So, from
Yeah.
that standpoint, good for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Not much to say. I don't know. I haven't even sent them a trade. If they can get more active in the chat, I would like to meet them someday. Come to the draft would be great, but that's all I got to say. All right, moving back up to Ian. I'll start. I mean, he makes a lot of things about himself. Pretty much every Sunday, we're talking about how T. Higgins or how he's getting screwed. I mean, he is getting screwed, but I'm kind of just sick of hearing about it. Overall, I think he's awesome for the league. He's a fair trader. He's one of the few people who sends fair trades to me. Most people send garbage or don't send at all. And if I send him a trade, he'll respond. It's respectful. So, man, I said I was going to talk a lot of shit, but I've been pretty nice so far. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you got on Ian?
Ian, tough to say anything good about Ian, to be honest.
Good.
He, he's tough to get a trade done with. I worked on one with him all off season, couldn't quite get it across the finish
Man,
line.
that might be you, man, because me and Ian generally can get things done. So you might need to look in the mirror.
Yeah, no, I think that might be the sentiment from a few different people. So chances are I do need to look in the mirror, and Ian is a good guy as a whole. But yeah, no, can't live with him, can't live without him. I gotta be have bulletin board material against him for this week right here. So
Yep.
this is a loser leaves town match potentially coming up this weekend.
All right. Next is Larry. You go first. I think we both love Larry.
Yeah, Larry's my favorite guy in the league. There's nothing else I can say other than
He
that. He
knows
just,
fall too. He'll
yeah,
put out bets and they're generally on. I mean, he bets comically small. Like, I mean, he'll bet $1 on a bet. But hey, man, money's green.
literally the opposite of Mo in like the
They should
scope
trade
or the
bankrolls.
span. Right, exactly. No, but if you want to follow the money, or if you want them to win some money, follow Larry's picks. So
The one thing I'll say about Mo too, moving back, is a few days ago he mentioned that DraftKings gave him $1,000 free bet. I don't think they're giving $1,000 free bets to people who are up big on the app, but I don't know. So yeah, I love Larry. He's good to trade with. He's smart. He's funny. We've been friends forever. So yeah, he's solid. Moving on now to Louis and Robert. I'll start. I mean, I like Louis as a guy, but man, I've sent him probably 5 or 6 trades this past month, and I get a fucking novel back about how this doesn't make sense because of this. I'd probably drop this guy. I mean, I only send fair, and I send Louis fair, and he tells me 10 reasons why he's not going to do the trade. Like, Louis, accept, reject, or counter. Honestly, I'm going to say that. But overall, I like having him in the league. I enjoyed seeing him at the owners meeting. I still picture him as like 12 years old, even though he's a fully grown adult. And obviously, I have nothing bad to say about Mr. Alexanian. So overall, super happy they're in the league. They're in 9th place, so they're right on that bubble. What do you got?
yeah, no, hard not to like a father-son duo like that. I am against them in the sleeper sucks debate. So just from that standpoint, like F off. But for the most part, I also picture Louis as a young boy, just
Yeah,
crisp young boy playing in the backyard, creepy a little bit.
sure.
Yeah, so moving right along.
Yeah,
Good. They never trade. They've never done a single trade
they
ever.
have a good team too. They have a bunch of guys I'd like to acquire. And I send them fair trades, but they're kind of like in that middle spot where they're not really looking for draft picks. So it's hard to really know what the hell they want. All right, we'll skip you. You're 8th. Moving up to 7th, Crony Spid. Uh, I'll start. I mean, obviously, 2 of my best friends, but I'd like to see more out of them in the chat. Also, Crony, I believe, is one who spearheaded the Petty Cash Fund. I think that was kind of a stupid idea. I don't know why we all voted yes on that, because now we just have money kind of sitting there. And I'm pretty sure we could just have Mo buy all our drinks and host our draft again for free next year. So I don't know why we have the petty cash fund, but I don't know what we'll use it for. They don't trade. They have a good team. They stand pat. They don't really talk in the chat. So really, they're not doing much for me. I like them as people in fantasy. Pass.
Yeah, no, I'll just talking on that petty cash fund. We really do have to do something with that. So all ideas are welcome. I really think if we like just invest that and every like so few many years we fucking do
No,
a draft somewhere, a
no.
draft party offshore, off campus.
I think we should just give it to the winner of the league. That would make the most sense. But I'm good
So
with
it's just a
whatever.
$400 buy-in.
Yes.
Okay, I
um,
mean that is also fair.
is it only 400 in the petty cash fund?
Well, it's 350 for the league, and then 50 went to the petty cash. So it's just
So 50 times 14, right? Isn't that
yeah. So there's
700?
$700 extra. We can do
So,
so many things with that.
yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what
We could
happens.
get
I
rid
know
of
Sam.
Bobby and get a different guy.
I would love that. I would love that.
JK
Sammy would hate
Bobby.
that. But yeah, so we'll see. But all right, moving on. That was Crony and Spid, who was in 7th place. Now Taffy. I mean, fantasy wise, he's like my number one guy. He fucking cracks me up all the time. I've been playing fantasy with him for like 10 years now. He hasn't really been talking in the chat, which pisses me off because he's probably the funniest guy we've got. I don't know. I mean, like he's got a kid on the way, but Taffy, pick up your phone. I don't like, I mean, come on. Um, as a team, his team's bad. I don't really know how he's in 6th place. What do you think?
Uh, Number one arch nemesis for me, although it's sort of dried up a little bit since we haven't had meaningful matchups lately. But you know, it heats back up like Sox Yankees in the playoffs whenever
Yep.
whenever things get going here.
I
So
believe the direct quote was "suck a huge fat dick."
yeah, that rings a bell. But no, we need more of that content.
Yes,
We need more of the selfies. We need more of that content. Baby
handsome
thing,
guy.
congrats, but not an excuse. We got
No,
Paulie, same deal. He's got a baby coming and
he's
he's
content.
creating videos, content every which way.
Yes.
So shout out, credit where it's due there. And yeah, we expect more from you, Taffy. We need more.
Yep. All right, moving up to Eric. Eric's in 5th place. I'll start. I mean, perennial there. Like he's always there. He's got a solid team. He knows ball. I like seeing him. I saw him at the draft. I feel like we were very aligned in the draft. We pretty much voted together on everything. Doesn't really talk in the chat. I'm lukewarm on Eric. I'd like to see more of him. I've seen him in other chats. He gets fucking heated sometimes, which is fun. But overall, I'd say he's a plus to the league because he's got a good team and he knows football and he's active.
Good squad. Team's getting old though. I feel like it's a win now type of team.
Yep.
He's got to make moves. So shit or get off the pot basically. Send some trades.
I'll
I need
I'll
some
open up
trades.
I'll open up the hood a little bit and let you guys give you guys a peek. So you mentioned your CD Lamb trade. It was 3 firsts for CD. Yesterday I sent him 3 firsts and Godwin for Amon-Ra, and it got rejected. So that's kind of where I was at there.
Yeah.
So that's just a little trade fodder. If you made it this far in the pod, you can use that to your advantage. Although I'm done trading now, I got my guy Quentin Johnson. All right, 4th place, Paulie. We've kind of talked about him a few different times already. I'll let you start if you have anything to say about Paulie we haven't already said.
There's really nothing to say about Paulie that hasn't already been said. He's a class act. Sometimes he needs to get reminded where he comes from, which is the basement. So I'm glad he was put in his place last week. But all in all, he's a guy I root for.
I mean, I can't say I root for him. I'm kind of surprised you had that take. He is coming after me today, making different avatars about bears eating onions. Don't really know where that came from. I've always supported Paulie. So my tide's turning on him. I'm sort of all set with him now. I love when he makes content. We haven't seen a lot of content out of him in the past few weeks. I don't think his team's that good. He's made some, I think, questionable trades, which we'll get to in the next segment, or at least one questionable trade we'll get to in the next segment. So overall, Paulie's not a guy I root for. I feel like this will probably get clipped, but I said it. All right. Third place in the league, William Dapkus. Dan, go.
Speaking of not a guy I root for, like Bill, just I don't like him in fantasy. He's got a trade embargo against me for no reason. He has just poor sportsmanship. We had a bet one year where he won and I had to pay his dues the next year, and then he wouldn't do a double or nothing reciprocation. Just all in all, guy absolutely doesn't value draft picks, like trades them like they're going out of style. So I don't know. I don't know how he's in third, but good on you. But yeah, I feel like it's taking a downturn soon.
He hasn't scored a lot of points, but I don't always put a lot of stock in who scored the most points. I mean, you can have like a couple weeks ago, I scored like 60 points versus Sammy. Like, so that's gonna fuck up my whole like points for metric. But everyone has down weeks. He finds a way to win most weeks. His team's not very good, but he has a ticket to the dance. So if he can string together a few good weeks, all of a sudden he's going to be sitting with us at the champions dinner. So it's really tough when I look at his team as a guy in fantasy. I mean, I've sort of 180'd on him this year. I'm now like fully with Bill. Like we kind of have a good ham and egg going in the chat. We kind of get each other. I mean, you know that. Like Bill and I we're all close. Like me, you, Bill. But Bill and I specifically in fantasy seem to be working well together. We made the huge trade, which we'll touch on. But yeah, his team's not very good, but it doesn't mean he can't win. He's got a ticket. So we'll see. We'll see about Bill. He's in third. I'm in second. We'll skip me for now. And then first place, Sammy. I'll start. I mean, he's scored. I mean, this has got to be what week are we in? Are we going into week 10? I think we're going into week 10.
That's right.
So these first 9 weeks have to be the best 9 weeks we've seen from anyone in the league in terms of points. I mean, he's scoring a lot of points. I feel like a lot of them are garbage points. If I were betting like on who's going to win the league this year, I would not pick Sam because I think like last week we saw Taylor kind of get shut down. Taylor, by the way, I had to fucking beg Sammy to trade for Taylor. Like literally took me 48 hours begging him to do that trade. And now he's saying like, oh yeah, I won that trade. Like I'm a good trader. You get no credit for that trade because I begged you to do it. But overall, his team's very good. I root against him heavily. He's a great commissioner. I'm not rooting for him at all.
Yeah, no, he's a um just goes for those garbage points. It's garbage and it's rubbish and
Yeah,
not
agreed.
one
Not true.
not one iota, not one.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Wouldn't be wouldn't be betting on him for another run like last year. I think it's sort of fake vanity points right now when it doesn't really matter. He's running up the scores on lowly teams.
Yeah, like what's the
But
difference between 140 and 160? You know, like
exactly. But
it's
when
the
we get
same.
to nut cutting time
Mm-hmm.
in December here, that's when we'll find out if his boys can man up for the first repeat the league will have ever seen.
Agreed. And Laporta, I think the last 2 weeks had over 15 points, but who's counting? All right, so that's the league. Let's go to our next segment. We're wrapping up here. Let's just quickly do a little trade recap. There's been a few trades the past few weeks. I kind of just want your thoughts on them, Dan. Let's
Hit
start
me.
with the biggest one in trade history in league history. Jamar Chase and a second for Puka Nacua and a first. Big trade. It got discussed in the chat. I mean, the Hard Knocks episode is going to be amazing when they go back and look at what happened during that trade. That I think it was fair. Did you think there was a clear-cut winner, loser? Do you think I lost? What do you think?
You guys certainly got the buzz going. You got the league sort of hyped up. Juices were flowing. Um, I honestly thought it was a pretty fair deal, all in all. It was hilarious how all of a sudden Chase comes out and has his most targets ever, maybe his
Insane.
best game as a pro, the
No,
day after, and Puka
got hurt
Puka
again.
was
He's
sidelined.
playing.
Yeah,
he's playing though. He's playing this week. He got a rib, but no, yeah. I mean, yeah, he had the most targets in his career. It wasn't his best game, but he had the most targets in his career. I root for Chase. I'm always going to root for Chase. But that was one trade. So, yep. All right.
Yeah,
So then,
and just to be clear, Ian has T. Higgins, just
right. That's true.
in
That's
case
very true.
anyone
And
forgot.
we'll hear probably about his stat line every week until he retires. All right. Next, I'm curious your thoughts on the Larry Pauly trade. So Larry shipped off Saquon and received Zay Flowers and a first.
I
Do you
think
think
that
there was a winner?
was I think that was an interesting trade. Again, another one where the trade happens and all of a sudden Saquon goes off for a huge game immediately following. Pauly was playing me that week and won, maybe not as a result of that, but I was kicking myself for not trading for Saquon earlier in the day. Larry sent over a very fair offer that I just had cold feet on.
What was it?
It was centered around Lad McConkey for Saquon.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so
Lad and Zay are comparable.
comparable players, yeah. So yeah, that's I think that's
I
again
think
a
you're smart
fairly fair
not to have.
deal.
I think you're smart not to have done the trade. I think Larry won that trade. Just because going forward, I think I'd rather Zay than Barkley. I don't know. I mean, receivers are a good top 10, 15 receiver is, in my opinion, very valuable. I think you can find guys to get carries that can, put you in a spot to win. But I think having like 2 to 3 like solid wide receiver ones sets you apart. So I think Pauly lost that trade personally.
Yeah.
Um,
And just for
Next,
anybody's reference, Zay was, I think, drafted in the 13th slot, so even the late first round picks are quite valuable in this league.
yeah, I'd like to see. I would like to see a history of like every draft pick and see like who busted. Like I want to go back to 2021, look at the draft. 2022, look at the draft. I
Well, now
also
that
want
we're
to
on
do.
Sleeper, we'll have the ability to do that from here forward.
Oh, we could do that in Yahoo.
Okay, sure.
You could. And I also am curious. I want to see because like, how many draft picks does Snee have in 27? Does he have like 10 or 11?
All of them, basically. I think 11 of the 14 first round
So I
picks.
want to go to like 2022 and look at the first round and then say, all right, this is pretty much like what Snee's roster is going to look like if he keeps all his picks. Like, is 1 through 10 in 2022 a good team? I don't know. I feel like
You're
maybe
gonna
not.
have at least 4 to 5 total busts, and then you'll
Exactly.
have a few good players, and he's probably hoping for two
Two
studs,
studs.
essentially.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. So it's interesting to see. I don't know. It's
yeah.
going to be very exciting if he holds on to his picks, which you
Got
never
to do
know with
some
him.
mix of like you can't draft all of those guys, so we'll see
No,
how he
I
how
agree.
he. I'm confident he'll be able to. Like I'm not confident he'll be able to sit on it until 2027. That's not even next year's draft. That's the
Right.
draft after that. Like he's gonna
And it's
get
a four
antsy at
hundred
some
dollar
point.
buy-in. Like, I mean, you're just donating to have a good team 3 years from now. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, so that was trade. That was trade recap. I guess our last segment, just quickly, like you touched on your team, I'll touch on my team. I feel great about my team going forward. I'm super happy trading Crony and Spid's pick for Quentin Johnson, who is a solid everyday receiver that I can start because my receivers have been my 1 week spot has been wide receiver 2 and 3. Booty just got hurt. So I have Puka, Quentin Johnson, and then a mix in that third spot with good backs, Lamar Jackson, Sam Laporta. With 2 first-round picks next year, they're late in the first round. They'll both be playoff teams, but I'm feeling very good about my team. I think I have as good a chance as anyone to win. I have 2 bye weeks coming up, so I may sneak into first place if Sammy can slide back one, which I'm not counting on, but could happen. So I love my team, but enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me?
I think you got a good squad. I think you got I think you put it well. Like you're stacked at running back. You're pretty you got, it's Lamar, as long as Lamar stays healthy, and even if he doesn't, Dart's been looking pretty good.
Dart is
Uh,
is there's a QB controversy potentially. I'm not saying there is, but there's potentially one.
so
And
I
then how
think
do you
you're in a
feel
good
about your team?
spot. I think it is interesting that the three or the past two champions, you and Sammy are the top two in the league right now. And then I do feel like I have a team that could come on strong at the end here as the third of the former full champions
Well,
to make a run there.
last year the 8 seed snuck in and won it.
Very good point. So, but I think if you had to put odds on will this will this year's champion have previously won a championship or not, the bet would be like that would be the favorite that it would be there'll be a two-time champion after this
Yeah,
year.
I think that would be like a minus 140 proposition. Me,
Safe to
you, or
say.
Sam, because there's been 3 champs. There will be a fourth. Will it be one of us? Will it be someone new? We'll find out. But Dan, I finished, and I think you've said it all. So until next time, that's it for the Dynasty Football Podcast.
Hell yeah.